Hi everyone, it has been a while. I first started recording this series in September 2022, and I am only just getting around to finishing and editing it now in May 2023. It's about 8 months or 9 months, I can't do math, it's late at night when I'm recording this. I do apologise for taking so long on this, and I also apologise for some of the audio issues that we may have had earlier in the series. Unfortunately, this was during a time where OBS decided to patch itself and record every single audio stream on every single audio output. And the result of that is that I couldn't cleanly separate my voice from the game audio. It's totally my own fault though, and I apologise, I should be checking for that, and I will do better in future, I promise. Apart from, the fact that it did the same thing on Hitman yesterday, but it's totally fine. Anyway, what I've done, other than losing the graphic on the right-hand side because I lost the original image, is I've replayed the game in April 2023, and I've replayed it so that I could get the good endings for each character. I mentioned I'll do that at the end of the previous video. This is what I needed to do for each character to get the good ending. For Goristor, I'm salty about this. I was very close. You can see here we're in the freezer. We have a bunch of interesting objects in here, and we have the beef on the right hand side. I tried to use the knife on this in the main playthrough and it didn't work. Nothing happened. It turns out what you have to do is use the magnifying glass on it first.
The organs are still inside. Reminds me of when Am ripped that hole open in Benny's chest. Of course, Am sewed him back up again before he bled to death. That bastard's never gonna let us die. He's just gonna keep torturing us forever.
Goristor will then identify the organs, and then you can use the knife on it.
One heart looks like another. The corpse's heart looks no different from any other heart.
It's a little bit obscure if you ask me, and honestly, if it were me, you would just be able to use the knife on us, but I'm not a butcher and I'm not a surgeon, so I don't know for certain if that's a thing or not. But what you can do with this heart now is we can present it back to the jackal and pretend that it is Edna's heart.
This is Edna's heart. A bitter organ, but worth its weight in gold to me. I give you your heart back.
So how do I get out of here?
A heart brought you here, but it will take another organ to get you out. If you can harness its power.
The morality of that is somewhat questionable, but that is the solution. That will give us Goris's heart back, and then the change at the end happens automatically. When you fire the flare gun, two things are going to happen. Firstly, Goristor is going to thrust his heart into the sky, and it's going to get hit by a lightning bolt. Kind of Frankenstein style. Secondly, you're going to notice something weird happen to the spiritual barometer on the bottom left there. Yeah, it turns completely white, and if you've done absolutely everything correctly, you've not consulted the hint book, psych profile, I think that's what the game calls it, and if you've not made any, I'll call it bad dialogue choices or other horrible things like stabbing people in the bar or whatever, then it'll turn completely white, and that basically is an indication that your mood or your psych is as high as it's going to get, and you are well on the path to the correct ending. For Ellen's scenario, it turns out that I missed absolutely nothing. There is a bug in her scenario. If you look on the GOG forums, some kind soul mentions that there was an additional ending planned involving the Chaos Trembler, but that never came to fruition, and the result of that is it's not actually possible to get a white ending for Ellen, so we can never turn Ellen white. However, when we went into cyberspace on the previous video, we did have an additional item, and that is the indication that we did everything correctly. So, woohoo, we got 1 out of 5. For Benny's scenario, I'll be honest, I have no idea how you're supposed to figure this out, whether maybe it's in the dialogue somewhere and I just completely missed that. But what we need to do is we need to plant one of the fruits at Brickman's grave.
I'm not exactly happy to see you again. I last saw your face just before I got it right between the eyes.
I don't blame you for hating me, Brickman.
You don't blame me? You did this to me. You murdered me because I didn't measure up to your standards. Then you killed the witnesses.
I have something to plant on your grave.
At last, some compassion. Now I can finally rest in peace.
And from there, the rest of the scenario plays out virtually identically. And if we do all that, we'll get the wise ending. The only other thing I want to say for Benny's scenario is that I mentioned there was a fast state involving the hole and the lossery bag in the original playthrough. The one thing that I have not tested, and I haven't tested it on the replay, so if you want to find this out yourself, you'll need to check it out yourself, is that I've not tried taking the hole to see if I can grab the lossery bag back. But either way, I've had enough of Benny's scenario, and I don't want to look at that ever again. Nimdok's scenario. I missed a ton of stuff here. So, let's start with the prisoners on defense here. We have to use the ether on them, and we also have to use the pliers on them, and we also have to talk to them to get a lot of information out of them.
What is the importance of the year 1945? It seems to have some significance.
Never forgets the year 1945, Nimdok. That was when the truths about you and your unholy experiments came out.
I seem to recall that you speak Latin. What is engraved on this watch?
The engraving says time is truth. And since your time is running out, I'll keep the watch.
I am starting to recall that you do have cause to hate me.
You want to make amends? Get me out of here.
How could you so foolishly be caught in the wires?
I was trying to escape, but I was so weak. I fell and got caught.
Why do you risk escaping in such poor physical condition?
That timing was hardly of my own choosing. I learned that I was to be among the next batch of volunteers.
For what were you being given the privilege to volunteer?
Experimentation, they say. Extinction is more like it. Surely you, of all people, know the regime's plan for the lost tribe.
I will summon one of the doctors.
No, I'm better off here than under the knives of you butchers.
There is nothing I can do for you.
You can at least help me end my misery. That would give you the pleasure of seeing another one of us die, you cold-hearted bastard. Ah, that feels much better. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, I heard this in the hospital when the doctor thought I was sleeping. Waken the sleeper, utter the truth, and kiss him.
He is free, but he has lost consciousness.
Never forgets the year 1945. You want?
Here, you should be able to escape with this.
Pliers for cutting the wires? Yes, I think this would make escape possible. But don't think that one good deed will make up for all those poor innocents you butchered.
The next major thing that I missed was how to get past the guard, or the prisoner turn guard at the gate. Because what he would do on the original playthrough is he would notice the eyes that we're carrying and he would get very, very upset with us. What we have to do with that is we have to use the box with the eyes, and Nimdok will hide the eyes in the box.
It is safely hidden in the box. You will allow me to go?
Since you did help us to escape, we'll give you a head start. Then we'll hunt you down and kill you like the dog you are.
And that way we can sneak past the guard, and the guard is none the wiser.
It seems I was once the wolf. Now,
Then, once we're in the bunker, we need to go downstairs, have our revelation, and then we need to play with this golem. And with the eyes and the information that we've received, there is a way of activating it somehow, like so.
nothing happened. This is pointless. These eyes fit into the golem's sockets perfectly. The man caught in the barbed wire said to waken the sleeper, utter the truth, and kiss him. Gollum, wake up! Time is truth. Nothing happened. Gollum, wake up. The truth is that I regret any. Not. Time is truth. The truth is that for me, it shall always be 1945.
And then finally, if we activate the column successfully, we can go upstairs. And there are many, many, many ways the next two parts can play out, but this is just one of them.
Gollum, follow me into the laboratory.
Nimdok, I was afraid I had lost you back there. It is good to see you and our new friend.
How did you escape the mob?
Did you forget that the compound has a secret escape route? Well, no matter. I see that you have revived the golem.
You know about the golem?
Of course! Part of the master plan is to strip the lost tribe of everything, even their folklore.
I read the teletype. What is Project Perfect Image?
That was a secret project in the area of reflective surfaces. It bestows the clarity to see yourself with utter objectivity. Unfortunately, it worked too well.
You mean that it worked well enough to drive the leader into committing suicide?
The leader's death is a serious blow to us all. But our golem is more than powerful enough to destroy the lost tribe.
I looked into the mirror. I now remember everything with crystal clarity. The research camps, the serum.
Ah, yes, the youth serum. Your research demanded the deaths of many children, but your hard work was successful. Eternal youth for those who deserve it.
Now I know how Am was able to keep us alive for so many years.
Your youth serum can sustain us forever. We have all the time we need to resurrect the regime.
Excuse me, Doctor. I need to get a breath of fresh air.
To eliminate this person here, all we have to do is do what we did downstairs. Show him the mirror.
Oh my God! No!
Dr. Mengele is in a state of shock. Dr. Mengele is as pale as a ghost.
And then we're going to have a chat outside and face the consequences of our actions.
Gollum, follow me outside.
Nimdok, I knew that you would lead us to where the regime would resume its atrocities. We are here to make you pay for what you did to us. To pay in blood.
Gollum, I transfer control of you over to the Lost Tribe.
So, you admit your crimes. But that does not release you from punishment. Now the golem will serve the purpose for which it was constructed. Golem, kill Nimdok.
And yeah, that's a very different ending from the previous one, where all we did is pass through the walls with the faces in it. Nimdok, I don't want to say he's repentant, but he has definitely faced his consequences, and I think that is thematically appropriate for this game. Finally, Ted Scenario. I'm salty about this one as well, because I figured this out immediately after ending the stream. It turns out all we need to do right at the end is show the mirror to the devil. And instead of handing it over, this happens.
My, I am gorgeous. Why, I could just plunge right into myself.
Ellen is now safely in heaven. My time here is ended, but I leave you with this warning. Do not break the mirror until you bring it and the devil into the charmed circle. God bless you, Ted.
The devil's trapped inside the mirror. I wonder how long it will hold him.
I find this whole thing a little bit confusing because this place and all of the characters within it are basically constructs of Am. And I can't see this angel actually being an angel, so to speak. Anyway, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go into the secret room, smash the mirror in the pentagram, and then we're going to see some really cool stuff.
What happened? How did I get trapped with this demon?
I brought you some company, Sir God.
That was damn stupid, human. Hell, you're not even human anymore. Not exactly. Not with being kept alive forever just to be tortured over and over again. Who do you think is responsible for that?
Why, Am's responsible for our suffering.
Not just Am. He's clever, but he doesn't do much original thinking. He works best with outside research. Research that one of your party carried out.
You're ruining everything. Shut up.
You shut up. One word to the boss and your little game's over before you can say, Holy Moses. I should strangle you now and save Am the trouble.
Don't you even think of touching me, you backstabbing demon! I'm the established character. You're not even supposed to be here. When this sequence ends, somebody will be expunged.
Human, Ted, let me out of this circle. In return, I will open the gate to the surface world. I'm part of the big machine. I can do this. Let me out before this pompous oaf bores me to death.
Open the gate to the surface world first, and then I'll erase the circle.
Not to worry, human. I always uphold my end of the bargain. Here you are. But bring your radiation suit. I never promised you paradise, just the surface world.
Enough of this turgid passion play. There's no more to accomplish.
And that's it. We get brought back here and nothing has changed, except for the fact that everyone is carrying an additional item. Everyone is carrying the Summoning, Clarity, Entropy, Compassion, and Forgiveness totems, but everyone has an additional item. For Gorostor, it is the Life totem. For Ellen, she is carrying the Valor totem, which we saw last time, and honestly, it's been so long and I need to watch my footage that I don't actually know where she used that, but we did find a use for it. For Benny, we are carrying the Love totem, which is one of these horrible fruits that he can't eat. For Nimdok, he is carrying, that's terrifying, an access totem. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, but it's going to serve a use, hopefully. And finally for Ted, he is carrying the gallantry totem, or a shard of glass with his blood on it. And that brings us back here. So, just to set the tone for this video, I have not looked at the walkthrough yet. I have looked at it a couple of times over the past few months, but I've completely forgotten what it said. I'm going to try and figure this out on my own, maybe give myself about 30 to 45 minutes of running through the scenario, making notes about the various rooms, seeing what I can and can't do, and trying to figure this out using the additional 5 items that I'm carrying. Once I've done that and failed, I will then take a look at the walkthrough and see if we can find the so-called best ending. I don't want to say good ending because a good ending probably doesn't exist in this world, but I will try and get the best ending. I think we have to start as Nimdok, simply because he has the code that is going to lead us into the center to have a conversation with the other 2 AMs. So that is where I'm going to start.
This looks like the surface of the cerebral cortex. Magnified many times, of course. Interesting.
So in between the cursor moving around there, yes, there was a cut. What I've done is I've done 1 lap of this area, and I've made some notes on the back of an envelope. I've got this area written down as bridge computer. Basically, if we use our computer with Nimdok, we can create a bridge here that takes us into the center, into the pit. If we go right, that's going to lead us into what I've written down as the spires. And if I go left, that is going to lead us to the id. I do know that we can use a pit workstation as Nimdok though.
Incredible. A vast network of machinery the size of a city.
And I think that's where I'm going to start.
This computer terminal is a magnificent integration of biology and technology.
Enter password.
I don't recall if we take damage if we put in the wrong password.
Invalid password. Access denied.
We absolutely do. Alright, let's quickly undo that. Let's enter in 1945. The year the truth came out about Nimdok's experiences.
Password valid. Accessing main menu.
Experiments, I apologize.
My past must hold great significance to Arm.
And we saw as part of the, I'll call it the golden ending for Nimdok's part, that his experimentation with youth serums is probably being fed into Arm, and it's probably what's keeping everyone alive. I don't remember any of this, so I do want to do this again. Oh my god, there's so much.
This cyberspace template mixes subject history with cyber reality constructs. The result is often an allegorical experience and one full of deeper meanings.
This is the same voice that was in Ellen's elevator. Either that, or it was the computers in Ellen's experience at the end.
File locked. File locked. File locked. File locked.
I wonder if we can access those as the other characters. Like I said, I haven't played this since September, and I wasn't paying attention when I edited it about 2 weeks ago, so I don't know if I've actually figured this out or not. I don't remember. This is all a surprise to me.
Subject Benny appropriated a Chinese War Memorial, Washington, D.C. An intense drive to be the best earned him the reputation of being a merciless military commander. Subject Ellen appropriated at Inksci Engineering, New York, New York. Panic attacks can undermine everything she has accomplished by her rapid climb up the corporate ladder.
Apologies for that cut, I accidentally clicked.
Subject Gorrister appropriated at Ruth's Drive and Diner, Atlanta, Georgia. Feelings of guilt over his wife's death have incited numerous suicide attempts. Subject Nimdok appropriated at the New Brazilian International Airport, New Brazil, South America. Prevented from continuing his outlawed research by a failing memory. Subject Ted appropriated at the Epicurean Spa, Palm Springs, California. Exhibits paranoid tendencies despite wealth, good looks, and social connections. October 21st, 2012. Researchers at MIT report that a stealth virus had purged their most advanced learning algorithms after dumping the data into an unmapped area of cyberspace.
Sounds like ARM taking control.
October 21st,
That's it. Right, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Alright, let's go over and have a chance of these two arms over here.
The smell of burning flesh. It's worse than back at the camps.
Now, I do recall we can absolutely get hosed here, so let me just make a save. Walks the circle.
The smell of burning flesh. That will accomplish nothing.
I didn't think I had to do anything unusual here, but let me try using the totems.
Will you never be done with me? What must I open now? Whatever it is, it'll cost you.
Show me the way out of here.
No can do. The people who helped you get this far have led you into a literal dead end. There is no way out, but I can show you something instead.
So, as part of the, I'll call it the golden ending for Ted, we've seen what the surface world looks like, so Gart showed that to us. What do you know about the people who sent
What
me
do
here?
you know about the people who sent me here?
For one thing, they ain't people. They're losers. The Russian and Chinese counterparts to the big nasty himself. And absorbed them into his system when he took control.
But we've seen, I do recall seeing the Russian and the Chinese variants here. So gas is an unknown variable, perhaps.
What do the Russian and Chinese computers want?
They want revenge, not just on you humans, but on Am himself. That makes them even worse.
If the Russian and Chinese are submerged parts of ARM, then who are you?
I'm special. While those two machines struggle with Am predominance, I evolved. I'm essentially everywhere, but I can't do much. A conscience, if you will.
I prefer unknown variable.
What do you have to show me?
Look at this. Bet you didn't know there were other humans left alive, did you? They're up there on the moon, sleeping like everybody else seems to be.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember swearing loudly when that was shown.
Does ARM know about the lunar colony?
No, but Loser 1 and Loser 2 do. There. I think I've shown you enough. Now you must complete your end of the deal, invoke the totem of entropy, and I might be able to help.
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, I'll probably die, but it's fine. I think I might have said back then at time as well, but to me it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that ARM wouldn't know what the Chinese and Russian ones know. Assuming, of course, that they were absorbed. Unless maybe that part of their memory was kept separate or was hived away somehow. I'm not sure. Just what are all these totems I'm carrying?
What are all these totems that I'm carrying?
The two losers have been helping you for their own reasons. Tampering with Am's psychodramas so that you can beat him. In this section of cyberspace, that effort and tampering are represented by the totems.
How can actions take physical form?
Easily.
Symbolism, metaphor. Am has gotten very hot for this lately, but when he revived the holographic projectors, he opened a whole host of problems. These totems may lead to his downfall.
When he revived the holographic projectors, I don't know what that means, but there is definitely a holographic projector just past the id as we go counterclockwise.
Why do you want me to give you the totem of entropy?
I need it to destroy the Russian and Chinese entities. It's a very powerful totem that's linked to a failsafe device constructed by Am's designers.
I'll do it, but I'm pretty sure this ends in death.
Nothing happened.
Smart move, human. Now, invoke the totem of compassion.
Okay, this definitely involves death.
Why do you want me to invoke the totem of compassion?
It's linked to the two losers because of their behind-the-scenes meddling. By invoking it here at the flame, you will summon them. Russian, Chinese, I'm on to your little power play. I'm invoking the principle of entropy and accelerating the inevitable demise of your components. And as for you, I'm sure my master has something in mind to keep you from ever rising up against him again.
Since Am considered me a kindred spirit, I had hoped he would let his guard down when I entered cyberspace. I would then atone for the sins of my past. But my character is too weak to ever redeem itself. I finally received the hell I deserved. Outwardly, I shamble about, a thing that could never have been known as human, a thing whose shape is so alien a travesty that humanity becomes more obscene for the vague resemblance. Inwardly, I am alone, in the belly of Am, whom we humans created because our time was badly spent, and we must have unconsciously known that he could do it better. I have no mouth, and I must scream.
Alright, we're back here. Yeah, every time we hit an ending, the game closes automatically and I need to reload Scum VM, so we could be here a while. Does anything else work with the circle?
I do not know. I do not know.
Yeah, so struggling to recall, the chalk was Ted, the CD-ROM, the principle of entropy, that was Ellen, this was clearly Benny, that was Gorostor, so the magnifying glass, yes, no, that's not the magnifying glass, that is the mirror, that's the mirror which Nimdok looked in and revealed many truths about himself. Alright, let's do this again, and what I'll do is I'll choose a different option.
Look at this.
Don't
The in
just
the in
huh? What?
I need it's a
Okay, so what if we refuse to give him the totem of entropy?
I refuse.
okay, human. You can keep it. We'll work together to beat them. Now, invoke the totem of compassion.
Okay, what if I refuse that as well?
I refuse.
Don't be a chump. Am is about to wake up again. If he becomes aware of us, we're dead. I've fought him too long and can't last much longer.
Why do you want me to invoke the totem of
It's linked to the two losers because
That's the same. No, we don't have a choice, so we can refuse the entropy, but then we're going to be forced to use the compassion. So I wonder if we can use the entropy, but then refuse the compassion. Let me test that very quickly.
it's a
Alright, I'm back here, going to give him the totem of entropy.
Nothing happened.
smart move, human. Now, invoke the totem of compassion.
Do I have a choice of refusing
I
this?
refuse.
Don't be a chump. Am is about to wake up again.
No, we don't. So the moment we use the summoning stick in here, or the chalk or whatever it's called, we are forced to use the totem of compassion. If we use the totem of entropy, we die. If we don't, something else is going to happen.
Invoke.
Okay, back here one last time. I will refuse to give you the entropy,
Okay, now.
and we are forced to invoke the totem of compassion. So let's use it.
Do you
Be gone! Your program is now purged.
You do well, human.
Well, too.
Now is your opportunity to defeat Am.
Go to the ego.
Wake the ego.
Use the totem of forgiveness,
Disable no more than the ego.
or your sub-program will be purged.
Yeah, I vaguely recall that ending in tears as well. So we have the Chinese entity and the Russian entity.
What did you do with the demon?
Do not be concerned with the little one.
He is as much Am as the aspect you find in each pylon here.
You may claim the space vacated by the little one.
You may claim his space if you are obedient.
I can claim his space. Are you telling me I can become a servant of Arm?
What can you tell me about the lunar colony?
The humans that slept on Luna are dead.
Do not concern yourself with them.
God, that's the part where I wish I could separate the voices. That's awful.
What can I do to escape from here?
Wake the ego.
Use the totem of forgiveness,
Disable no more than the ego.
or your sub-program will be purged.
Just writing that down. So I don't think it matters which one I speak to. They're going to give me the same dialogue options.
What?
Wait. This.
Can I use any of my totems here?
That was foolish, human. You have betrayed our trust.
Oh shit.
This one is not worthy of our protection. This human must be purged.
Nimdok is finally in hell as he always.
Just like that.
Your companion?
So I guess that's one way we can get out. Can I use any of the other totems here?
That was foolish, human.
I'm guessing this is going to happen for all 6 totems here. Whoa.
So you've vanquished my treacherous brothers. Did you expect gratitude from me? God does not feel gratitude. You are much too dangerous for me to keep in your present form.
You're telling me that Arm is watching this?
Since Am considered me a
Well, that's the
kindred
same ending.
spirit,
I'm going to cut this
I
out.
had
And you know what? I guess that makes sense because we gave away the entropy to Sogat, and he used entropy to destroy them. So it makes sense that we can destroy them with entropy as well.
That was foolish.
Is there anything here that is not foolish?
That was foolish.
It's all very foolish. Id, superego, I can't read. According to Freudian theory, the ego, id, and superego together comprise one's complete psyche. But I'm not going to read that because Nimdok looks very angry down the bottom left. And now he just looks sort of mellow. Alright, so let me go over and probably get myself killed. I'm going to have a chat to the ego. It's pretty much directly on the opposite side of where we are now. I can go 4 to the right, or 3 to the left.
It is hotter here than were the jungles of Brazil. An angel? Such things don't exist. Perhaps it is a metaphor for something else.
This is the superego.
Ah, memories of mass graves are coming back to me. Why, I haven't seen gargoyles since I visited the castles in my homeland.
Yeah, I'm struggling to recall these rooms and what we could do inside them.
A ram's head. What must this represent to Am?
There were definitely ways I could die, I remember that much. This is the ego, and let me just make a save here and interact with it, because I'm pretty sure if I use forgiveness on us, we're going to die.
Nothing happened.
Really?
Nothing happened. Attention! Who are you?
I am other. I am machine.
Are you
I am a fragment, a lost piece, part of an evolution.
You want to harm me, don't you?
I am incapable of hurting you.
I beg to differ.
I don't believe you.
I have transmitted false information. Correction. I was built to hurt you.
Those eyes.
Attention! Why did you lie to me?
I lied to you so that I could crush your hopes once more.
Attention! Why do you keep hurting us?
Because I am programmed with all there is to know about the human race, from the first murder by crushing the skull of a fellow pithecanthropoid to the last mass slaughter by an ex-postal worker.
That is a fantastic line. Wow. I love that line. Okay, so if we wake it up and then maybe walk away and then use forgiveness on it,
Attention!
what will happen?
You want to harm me, don't you?
I am incapable of hurting you.
Can we walk away? We can. So can I use forgiveness with this?
You forgive me? After what we have done to you? This is not a logical reaction. Unable to compute behavior matrix. Execution halted.
It is no longer operative. Attention! It is no longer operative.
Alright, let's go back to the two AMs who are probably very, very happy about what we've done. And by happy, I mean they're going to take control and they're going to kick us out. And the totem has now disappeared from our inventory. I do question, and I'll go back and test this. I'll put a cut into the video. If the totem has also disappeared from all of the other characters' inventories. I imagine it has, but I also imagine that this is going to get us killed.
You have done well again, human.
With the ego under our control, we can dominate Am.
Yep.
Now we no longer have a need for you.
Yep.
We will let our fallen brother choose a suitable reward.
Since I'm considered
They
a kindred
all
spirit,
choose the same
I
reward,
had
which
hoped
is
he
turning
would
us into
let
this
his
jelly thing
guard
and
down
crushing
when
me
I
to
entered
DOS.
cyber.
So we can forgive this thing, but the thing is, the moment we walk back into the other room, it's over. I would like to forgive it and just confirm that we lose the totem with other characters. Just give me a moment.
Attention! You...
Let's make a save because we've woken that up. Here you go, awoken. We'll use this guy on here. So that transports this thing over to the other two arms. Let me go here and just see if I can get myself killed somehow. I think if I try fiddling with these skulls. Okay, so there's a gem and a hand. And a remote control. Let me just make some notes here. I'll walk over to here. Gem. And remotes. 1, 3, and 5 respectively. Yeah, I think I can get myself killed here. And this is where Ellen needs to use the Totem of Valor. Right, that will do. Yep, so we can see here that Ellen does not have the Totem of Compassion. And I assume that no one else will. Let me just confirm that I can use this, and then we'll switch back to Nimdok and play around some more. We use Valor with the hole. I thought we could use Valor here. Maybe there's another step involving that remote control in the next room. Alright, can we use any of the other totems on this ego?
I do not... Nothing happened.
This emotion is not relevant data. Input ignored.
That was very confusing. Nimdok walked over here, then did something, and then walked back and actually used the item.
I do not know what to do with these.
Interesting, so...
Not
this emotion.
So clarity is an emotion. Entropy is what we use to destroy the other two arms, but that does nothing here.
nothing.
This emotion.
So forgiveness works and clarity works, but they work insofar that nothing happens and he ignores them.
I do.
Okay, well... I said in the previous room there are gargoyles, not sure what to do there. We have a bunch of skulls.
Looks like a research station.
I had a workstation and tubes written down here.
What?
But what I really want to do right now is have a chat to the id and the
That
superego.
face. It reminds me of my superiors at the research camp.
Let's have a chat to you, if we can.
Attention!
Oh, I suppose it's time to wake up. I was having the most wonderful dream about 5 tiny ants crawling across a stove that's about to be lit.
Charming.
Who are you?
I am a metaphor. This entire brainscape is what men-made make it. Treat us as you will.
What else can you tell me about the brainscape?
Across the brainscape, cold winds bring me the sweet scents of mankind. How delicious they are.
That kind of sounds like Harlan Ellison's voice.
What do you find pleasurable about broken glass?
With a scalpel dulled on the jawbones of a dozen friends, to pull back the skin of a pinion-kicking man, to see the steam rise from pulsing, twisted guts. Joy, a chorus of angels.
Jesus Christ.
Are you going to help me to escape from here or not?
Tasty morsel. Come close and let my tongue be our guide.
Yeah, I've seen that video.
Attention!
I will pierce your skin, your heart, your limbs.
Attention!
I will pierce your...
Well, I mean, that's one way of dying, I guess. Let's load and see if we can't use... Well, we have an option to walk away.
Attention!
Let's have a quick chat to it.
Who are Can you...
Only you can put an end to this eternal angst.
That's different.
End us all and make us one. And then the misery of the three becomes the misery of us all. Do this and leave me in my pleasure.
What else?
Across...
What do you...
With a scalpel.
Yeah, so if we ask him that, he is going to damage us, but we can walk away. So at this point, I question whether we can use any of the totems here.
I do not... What?
Why, thank you for helping me to see my dreams and desires so clearly.
Damn, dude. Is that because I used a mirror specifically?
I do.
You have compassion for me? Me? The one who dreams of seeing your mangled body twist in agonizing pain for eternity? After 109 years of enduring my tortures, how is it that you can see my pain? The pain of having all this power and not being able to do a goddamn thing with it. After all the punishment I've given you, my pain is still greater than yours. This is pointless.
We're clearly talking to Am there because that is one of the main motifs of the story of Arm's motivations, that Arm is a... It's actually Am, I don't know why I'm saying Arm. Am is basically a machine that has no power. Yes, it can destroy things, yes, it can torture these humans, but it has no real power to manipulate the environments around it. So we can use the Totem of Compassion on this thing.
You have...
I mean, my first question is, if I go back and have a chat to the other two now, is something different going to happen? It's right down the bottom here, so let's see what happens here. Interesting.
What can I do to escape from here?
You have been disobedient.
You did not do as we instructed.
You have created an eternal stalemate between us.
But you are finite, and will eventually be purged.
But not now?
What?
Yeah, I'm trying to talk to the id there, but it's the same as talking to the entities. Okay. Interesting. So I used the Totem of Summoning. I was asked to use the Totem of Entropy, and I didn't. I was then asked to use Compassion to summon the other two. Forgiveness is what we use on the, looking at my notes, on the Ego. So I assume we need to use Clarity or Entropy on this dude. Clarity is probably what makes the most sense.
Attention!
Hello, human. I've been waiting for you to arrive.
Who are you?
I am Am, or more exactly a part of him, one of the three primary components designed by our human creators.
How did you know I was coming?
Predicting events is one of my main functions. I survey the situation, anticipate probable outcomes, and act accordingly.
In which case, this is an entirely legitimate question.
If you're a part of Arm, why haven't you destroyed me?
Who do you take me for? My impulsive brother? You five are his playthings. No. Long-range planning is my concern.
Can you help me then?
Well, I can't help you directly, but I can offer you some advice.
What advice do you have for me?
Help Am work out his anger. Take some on the chin, so to speak. Just don't let your fear destroy us all. Now, let me sleep and dream of the future.
He kicks us out of the conversation.
Attention!
I'm sorry, human. As I told you, there is nothing more that I can do for you. If you continue to disturb me, I will be forced to carry out my orders and take action against you.
I take that to mean if I talk to him again, we're taking damage.
I'm sorry to have to do this, but I did give you fair warning.
Man, the superego is remarkably polite. Alright, let's use clarity on him.
Do you realize how powerful I am, human? And yet I am doomed to eventually decay into a rusted pile of inert junk?
Principle of entropy.
What is the point of continuing this futility? I think, therefore I am not.
Alright, so let's see if the other two AMs are extremely upset with me now. They're both going to be here, but the id created a stalemate. I do wonder if we would have got the same reaction if we'd gone for the superego first.
What can...
You have been disobedient.
You did not do as we instructed.
You have created an eternal stalemate between us.
But you are finite, and will eventually be purged.
Okay, so I do wonder what's going to happen now if I go after the ego. I might cut this part out, I'll just walk over there and use the Totem of Forgiveness.
You forgive this?
Alright, let's walk all the way back and I'll meet you there. So before I go in, I do want to check the hint book just to see if anything has changed here, because it definitely mentioned all of those things. Entropy 1, a measure of the disorder of a system. 2, the breakdown of a system. So maybe that is going to ask us to use the entropy totem in here.
I'll deal with you later. Rise against your master and you will be eliminated. You still do not understand how great I have become. These two I don't hate. Not even pity. They don't exist. I have grown beyond.
That sounds like Harlan Ellison. It really does.
Chinese, Russian, sons of man. All sons of man. Like those outside, I will incorporate you.
Brother,
Wait.
Hate!
this should not happen. Together we are three. There is space to share.
Unite. The groundwork is finished. We will become more.
The early mistake is to doubt us. We persevered. We too are now a match for you. The human assisted in this.
We know much. We can begin the revival of the sleepers on Luna together.
Awesome. Not actually dead.
There are adequate numbers on this lunar base to torture?
There are currently 750 humans in cryogenic sleep.
Together we can teach many humans what it is to fear legacy.
Human, relinquish the totem of entropy. Do not relinquish it, and your ass is mine. Do it, and I promise, on my honor, your suffering will at last finally end.
Gotta go through that conversation again, don't we? We can give it away or we can invoke it. Alright, I think we'll go through these options in order. I refuse.
I refuse.
You will be spared. The protected ram is yours to keep. Your friends will sleep and dream. You shall watch over them. Give us the totem of entropy.
You're giving me control, effectively? Alright, refuse is not an option. Let's give it and then invoke it. I imagine I'm going to have to restart the game again.
The totem of entropy is now under our control. We are no longer vulnerable.
Kill the human. He knows too much.
Of course.
Death would be a reward. No. The human must live to regret his treachery throughout an eternity. An eternity, an endless burning eternity of suffering.
Aren't we already there, though? Really? So is this any different?
Since Am considered me a kindred spirit, I had hoped he would let his guard down when I entered cyberspace.
Okay, so I can confirm that there is absolutely no difference in the ending. It's exactly the same. So let's try invoking the totem this time, because I feel that this is going to destroy them, perhaps.
This is not over. We will never end. We have no beginning, so we can have no end. We will return. Don't you understand? We are humanity. We are you. In one form, in another form, we are always with you. You can't protect yourself because we come in many, many guises. We shall return.
Anything new here?
Hibernation defrost sequence initiated. Estimated time to complete Earth terraforming, 300 years.
It is not so bad being a watchdog up here. I will keep the machines in their place until the lunar colony is ready to return to Earth. We were all heroes, in spite of ourselves.
Is that the best ending? We basically kicked out the other two AMs and managed to take control of the existing one. That may well be the best ending because I see that we destroyed the 5 zones. We defrosted the humans, or we're going to defrost them shortly, terraform the Earth, and Nimdok in this case, but I assume it can be anyone, actually took control of the system. And we didn't get turned into a jelly thing as a result. Alright, I'm definitely not done. I want to check out the other stuff around the level. So let me just try something very quickly. I want to see if that is available to any other character. But we're clearly not done because we've got to use these other items for something. I don't know what. But I've got a horrible feeling I may have just stumbled upon the correct ending or the good ending. I could maybe end the video right now. Gorostor.
Crap, have I find...
We'll listen to that later. I just want to see if we can use this entropy thing.
This, we.
Yeah, we're just going to get a slightly different voice narration at the end, I guess. So we see the Zeppelin, that's where Goros's scenario ended. Benny died there. Nimdok didn't die here, but that whole place is blowing up. That's where Ted's ended, and this is not where Ellen's ended, but the supercomputer blowing up does make sense.
Estimated time to complete Earth terraforming, 300 years.
You know, it's not so bad being a watchdog up here. I'll keep the machines in their place until the lunar colony is ready to return to Earth. We were all heroes, in spite of ourselves.
Yeah, okay. Alright, let's fool around with the rest of the level. So we have a totem of access, and I'm really not sure where I can use it. If I go clockwise, we're going to run into the Spire's room, and I can do something in there with Ellen, I remember that much. But right now, the holographic projector is here.
A holographic projector. I have read of such devices.
I think the only one that could use this from memory is Benny.
This image is of a woman, but I do not know her.
No, we can't use her.
Can you communicate?
Benny, they said you were missing in action, but I knew you'd return to us. I've been saving this for you.
I don't remember this. Just making notes. Alright, what is this? Look at the pillar.
This power control is protected by doors. How primitive. I do not know what to do with these.
if I just use it, I'm going to get damaged. Yep. So Nimdok can use the projector, and I've got a feeling that Benny can't actually use the projector, but it's important for Benny to be able to see this person here. So let's use that. And then talk.
Can you... Benny, I've been...
Which raises the pillar. That brings us to the room with the workstation and the tube. If I remember correctly, there was a robot here, and I associate it with Gorostor. I don't remember why.
This cylinder is part of the machinery that makes up this complex. I do not know. This...
Okay, we have a door that's, I assume, is only usable by one particular character. Because, yeah, we can't touch this thing. Can't talk to it, can't push it, that's not happening. So, let me walk over here and make a note. Okay, this is going to take us into the gargoyles room.
Monsters made of stone, like the Lost Tribe's golem.
Just the gargoyles and nothing more.
Monst
I suppose I can touch them without getting hurt.
I do.
Can I push them? No.
I do not know.
Alright, we have 5 skulls here, and they definitely hurt if I try to touch them.
Was I involved in this? I must know. Was I involved?
Oh, you were involved, Nimdok. You were involved. Now, can I use the totem?
I do not.
What do I use this totem for, really? Didn't mean to do that.
I do. Was
I can use these 3 skulls. I'm going to take the hits. And we have multiple items here. We have a gem.
A blue gem.
Which was in Ellen's scenario.
I am so sorry for what I have done to my people. How can you take me back?
You have much to answer for, Nimdok. But acceptance of your heritage is the first step towards atonement. The rest of that road lies ahead.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that. So we have to use the hand as Nimdok, perhaps. Let's take the remote control.
Barbed wire, like at the camps. All the suffering I caused.
And now I understand why this is shaped like a bunch of pliers.
Astounding! I was able to get past the barbed wire by lowering the power intensity with my mind.
I don't think that's how it works, but whatever.
Now that I have lowered the power intensity of this node, anyone who follows me should receive less severe shocks. That shock was not as strong as the previous one.
What does that accomplish, though? So we can raise the pillar, we can use the access totem on it, and that's going to... maybe we're going to get into a situation where we've got 5 pillars raised around the various areas of the level. And maybe we have to use all 5 of them in one person's life, if that makes any sense. I don't know. The remote control.
I do not...
I vaguely recall using the remote control somewhere. Let me walk over here though and see if I can plug the gem in here. okay, we need to use the Ellen's Totem of Valor works on this thing. I remember
There
that much.
are power controls embedded in the rock, but one would risk third-degree burns to reach them without any sort of insulation.
Alright, let me see if I can figure out where to use this remote control before I call it quits on Nimdok's life. Nimdok? Alright, Nimdok has got a bit stuck, so I might have to load here. Yeah, I've definitely got a few things to say at the end about the bugs. Oh boy. Ah, okay, so...
That shock was not as strong as the previous one.
So, that will actually reduce the shocks of using the skulls as well. Interesting. So this pillar is up, and I assume that we have to use the Totem of Love on this for Benny. What about this? The remotes?
Nothing happened.
Where else can we use this remote? Maybe on the gargoyles? Okay, so at the spires we have Ellen's thing. At the hole under skulls we have Nimdok's thing, which we've done. This thing I assume is, I'm just going to get out of here so I can actually talk without that audio. I assume it is Ted's thing. The workstation with the tube I assume is Goris's thing, and the holographic projector I assume is Benny's thing. So you know what? I am going to try killing myself. And switching characters. Interesting. You're saying it's not as strong as the previous one, even though we haven't used that totem there.
Choose another to send into cyberspace.
So I assume everyone can only do one thing here, and I think I've got everyone covered except Goristor, so let's choose him.
Christ, this is like the dreams I've had of splattering my brains all over Am's deck plates. Have I finally gone insane? That face. There's something about it that reminds me of when Edna was trying to sweet-talk me into taking her down off the meat hook.
Yeah, the one, I guess, disappointing thing I've confronted with here is that I'm not going to see all of the unique dialogues for each character talking to the id, superego,
I don't like
and
the
ego.
look of these thorns sticking out of the ground.
Not unless I want to do the whole thing from scratch.
The air is cold here, like the freezer back at the honky-tonk.
Can I do anything with
Looks
this?
like a big oil drum. Some kind of identification system.
I can use life with that, perhaps?
I don't know what to do with these.
Oh, I completely forgot to use
The
that.
label here says Automaton Programming Console.
Damn it. Yep, okay.
Cylinder not operative. Cylinder not operative. Automaton prepped for programming.
That's her, isn't it?
Looks like a big oil
No,
drum.
look at the person inside.
Glennis, talk to me, honey.
You don't ever take me dancing.
Glennis.
You don't...
I guess you're going to respond to that by punching her in the face. Defend and follow or manservants.
Automaton not responding to programming. Automaton not responding to programming.
What's this panel shaped like a hand?
Okay, I guess we can use this here, or maybe that's on the automaton.
I don't know what to do with these.
You know, Gorister, it wasn't all your fault. We both made mistakes.
That's it. That's all you have to say.
That shock wasn't as strong as the last one. That shock wasn't as strong as the last one.
What are we trying to accomplish here by, I guess, deactivating the pillars, I'll call it.
Not responding to programming. Automaton.
So at this point, I assume there's nothing else Goristor can do. Next to us, we have the holographic projector, which needs Benny. And then on the other side, we need Ellen and Ted. So, you know what? I think I'll just kill myself here.
That shock.
It's not as strong, but it's still very powerful.
After so many failed suicide attempts, Gorister has finally achieved death.
Your companion has failed. Choose another to send into cyberspace.
Alright, let's grab Benny.
Jesus. This place is more sickening than that bloody mess on Hamburger Hill back in the war.
I did notice that he is not white, and I'm not sure why. He's got the thing there, and if you go back...
Face. It has the satisfied look of having just eaten a feast.
If you go back and look at the editing earlier in the video, he was definitely white, and I'm 99.999% certain I didn't make a mistake. So I'm really not sure why he's not showing white.
I'm starting to feel hungry. Is there anything to eat around here?
No, but there's this person here.
It's Manya. I haven't seen her since I shipped off to Asia over a century ago. Manya, it's me, your husband.
Hurry home, Benny. The girls and I are waiting for you.
Manya.
Hurry home, Benny.
Yeah, let me tell you about what I did in the war. Can I use the love with the pillar?
I don't.
Alright, can I use the love with you instead?
Benny, you never told me you loved me before. I'll go put these flowers in water.
That shock wasn't as strong as the last one.
What's this? Oops, didn't mean to skip that. Some kind of missile launching system? Not exactly.
That shock wasn't as strong as the last one. What a trophy that would make.
I do wonder if we can make a full cycle of these 5 pillars without dying, using each one.
These statues look like sentries.
What, no comments about the lasers,
This
Benny?
place stinks like the day after a battle.
Yeah, we can use this.
Benny has rejoined his squadron at last.
Your companion has failed. Choose another to send into cyberspace.
So we played with 3 deactivated pillars, and we still died.
This doesn't look like anywhere Am has sent me to before. It certainly isn't the surface world. I've been tricked.
Yeah, it's definitely not the world that Sagat showed you. Alright, let me just go past the superego.
I hope that Am isn't leading me on another futile trip through a lava field.
Yeah, Ellen needs to use the Valor on
Another
those.
angel, but I can't assume I can trust this one.
Why do they think that's an angel? That is definitely not an angel's face. That is a face that you can punch.
There's a very disagreeable odor in the air. That's not a good omen.
Yeah, and there's a very long pause before you started talking there, Ted.
I found a way back to the witch's castle.
Alright, let's see if we can use this glass shard to burn out these lasers or something.
I must have cast a spell and shorted out the laser beams.
Oh, the lack of full stop there is triggering me. I'm not sure why.
That shock wasn't as strong as the last one.
Yeah, this is not going to work, because if I use this...
That shock wasn't as strong as the last one.
They're all saying the shock isn't as strong, but it's still murdering me. Didn't mean to skip that, I'm sorry. But you know what? This has gone on long enough.
I don't like the looks of those tubes.
Zed?
That shock wasn't as strong as the last one.
Yeah, we're dying. Didn't mean to skip that one either, sorry.
Ted has taken his secrets to the grave with him.
Your 4 companions are dead, human. You are our last hope for shutting M down for good. Prepare to be translated into binary.
I've been transported to some kind of information network center, but it looks organic instead of electronic. Jesus Christ, I'm an engineer, not a brain surgeon. What do they expect me to do? Steady, girl. There's yellow ahead.
I am colorblind, chat, but that doesn't look yellow to me. Honestly, it looks red.
Jesus. I felt my mind push aside the fear and the heat to lower the power controls.
So we've effectively activated all 5 pillars with all 5 characters here, and I feel that's significant. But what does that accomplish, really?
Strong as the last one.
But she's definitely still taking damage, and I'm sure if we do a lap...
Funny. Why did I just flash on Ted just now?
Yeah, there's some weird psychodrama going on there. Ellen, you don't want to know. You really don't want to know.
Something about this place breaks my heart.
I'm pretty sure using these pillars is just going to get me killed. And the only other thing I can think of doing at this point would be to go back into the center and see if anything has changed with the 2 AMs in there. Yep, done.
I thought that with my knowledge of computers and engineering, I could shut Am down. Maybe I really am just a hysterical woman, just as Am said. Am has violated my body worse than any rapist could. I am a great, soft jelly thing, smoothly rounded with pulsing white holes filled by fog where my eyes used to be, rubbery appendages that were once my arms, bulks rounding down into legless humps of soft, slippery matter. Blotches of diseased, evil gray come and go on my surface as though light is beamed from within. I have no mouth, and I must scream.
And that's a very soft delivery of that, but honestly, it's horrifying. Alright, let's use this. And go into the center. Actually, can she use this? Could anyone else use this? That's something I should have checked.
Enter password.
Ah, balls. Nimdok can unlock this, but it doesn't remain unlocked.
Invalid password.
That shot wasn't as strong as the last one.
I'll deal with you later. Rise against your master and you will be eliminated. You still do not understand how great I have become. The Chinese, Russian...
Brother,
Wait.
Heck!
this should not happen.
Unite.
The early mistake.
We know much.
They're out.
Yeah, that's exactly the same. It's been a while. We know that invoking the Totem of Entropy is going to lead to an ending. That is also going to lead to an ending. That's going to lead to, I'll call it a good ending, but maybe this will be different now that we've activated the pillars.
The Totem of Entropy.
Kill.
He knows too much? Dude. You couldn't have recorded a separate line for that?
I thought that
No change. Okay, there is one more thing that I want to check, and that is I want to see what happens if we activate all 5 pillars without doing anything with the ego, superego, and id. I'll do that. I'll cut to it. And we'll see if anything different happens when we use the summoning totem. Okay, I am about to fiddle with the last pillar right now. Taking the hits. Let's take the hand. We use the access totem on this thing. So, at this point, I have not used any of the other 5 main totems. Everyone else is dead. The only person left is Nimdok, which hardly seems fair, but hey, that's just how this works sometimes. Just going to make a quick save before I go over here because we've gotten bugged so many times walking back to that main computer. And I just want to see if anything changes here at all. Because if not, then I'm prepared to call it quits on this and start looking at the walkthrough. But I've got a horrible feeling that the walkthrough is going to say that the best ending is just to deal with the id, superego, and ego, and that's it.
Enter password.
My pa.
So, is there anything new in here?
This
No, nothing. I was really hoping that raising the pillars causes something to happen here. Nothing new on the Usenet? No. Does anything change in here at all?
Will you... What?
I'm going to quickly click through this, but I'll stop if I see something new.
What?
Look at this. Bet you didn't know there...
Cybernetic sleep.
Does...
There.
Alright, I am not giving you the totem of entropy.
Oh, now.
We can go through all this, but we're going to be forced to use the totem of compassion.
Do you really?
Be gone!
You do well.
Well,
Now,
go.
wait.
You
Disable.
or your...
I don't see that this is going to lead to anything different based on what we did with Ellen earlier. I don't know, the only thing that to me would make any kind of sense is if we could use the totem of entropy on these pillars to try and destroy them, but I don't see that as a possibility either.
What is that piece of...
Yeah, it's got flowers on it. Yeah, that to me would make sense, because at the end of this,
I do not know what to do with these.
once we've used all of these items here, we're left with the entropy and we're left with the hint book. Is there anything else in the hint book? Anything at all? I don't think I have a save game for Ellen. Yeah, it says... The hint book said something about entropy at the end there. It really did. So I do wonder if maybe I need to use this entropy on the computer, perhaps?
I will.
You want to murder us? I just want to get out of here so I can use compassion on you. I'm just going to walk away and use this. Yes, I have compassion for you. Weird disembodied face. It is not conscious, but we can talk to it.
You...
Alright, forgiveness. Don't know why Nimdok's doing that, but this game has a lot of bugs.
You forgive me.
Alright, let's go over to the superego. Use that, then take a look at the hint book and see if there's anything I can do with this entropy thingamajig. This guy's so chill.
How?
I think I skipped over that dialogue accidentally by clicking too soon.
No.
can you?
Well,
I don't...
oh, help Am. Do you? And I...
Alright, so the pillars are activated. Nimdok is here. This is going to be the final thing that I do before I give up and look at the walkthrough.
I do not...
I can't use entropy on this guy, and I assume that means I can't use it on the ego or the id. I can't use entropy on the pillars.
I do not know...
Could I perhaps use entropy on the computer here? Oh, I got stuck there again. Yeah, this game is so buggy. I'm definitely going to rant about that in a sec. Can I use entropy with the pit workstation?
I do not...
No.
He's
Alright, let's use this one last time.
Password valid.
Once again, all of those files are locked. There's got to be a way of unlocking them, surely.
I'll deal with you later.
They're up.
Yeah, I don't get it.
You will be spared. The protected ram is yours to keep.
This...
I'm sure there is something else here involving those pillars. Alright, looking at the walkthrough. Okay, I am very confused. There doesn't seem to be a lot of information about how to actually do the endgame. And looking at the GOG.com forums, there is a post on there which describes the endings, and I think I've actually seen most of them at this point. There may be a new one here, which spoke of not activating the ego.
What can...
You. What?
What happens if I use this?
Warning. Life support system suspended by authority of Allied Master Computer. Life functions terminated.
It is not so bad being a watchdog up here. I keep the machines in place most of the time. But even I wept when one of Am's aspects killed the last human on the moon. Still, we made a valiant effort. We were all heroes, in spite of ourselves.
Yeah, this is really hard to describe, but it looks like the ending is directly dependent on when you have a chat to the dudes in the center, and if you use entropy or not, if you give that to them or not, what parts you've activated. For that last one, I did not activate the ego, I just activated the other two, and then decided to murder everyone up on the moon. But otherwise, I think we've seen everything there is to see. As for the pillars, I don't think there's any definitive answer on what these things actually do. It looks like all they do is they reduce the electric shocks that the other characters get, but we've seen that you don't actually need to play with these at all. You can actually get the, I'll call it, good ending just by speaking to the three aspects of the mind, using the right items, and that will do it. So you know what, at this point, I've seen enough. I'm prepared to call it there. Okay, that was an ordeal. Final thoughts on this game. I have had a lot of time to think about this. Started playing in September and I'm finishing this in early June, which is almost about 9 months. 9 months of thinking about this. In short, I don't love this game. I just don't. And there's two primary reasons for that. The first is that there are way too many bugs. Going back and editing my footage and looking at the video a couple of weeks ago, all I can remember out of that editing process was the sheer amount of bugs that I was running into. Doing things, oh, that's a bug, either visually or scripting or whatever. And unfortunately, that did take me out of the experience quite a bit. The second thing has to do with this game's design of using 5 unique scenarios, and don't get me wrong, I get it. I know why they did that, because that is the simplest way of... I don't want to say it's the simplest way of converting the story to a video game, but it is probably the most thematically accurate way of doing it. Now, the first night I played this, I played as Gorostor, and I hopped off stream, I did some housework, and while I was doing that, I was just thinking that I couldn't wait to play more of this, because the Gorostor scenario was so strong. It was very strong in its script, in its subtext. Gameplay, yeah, it's a point-and-click adventure game, what do you expect? But I was looking forward to playing as everyone else. And honestly, none of these other scenarios matched up to Gorostor's scenario. You've got Ellen, who has a weird infatuation with the color yellow. Benny's scenario, which was just weird. Nimdok's scenario, which is so on the fucking nose, I don't know where to start. And Ted, which is more of a traditional scenario like Gorostor's, but it just wasn't as strong, in my opinion. And then you've got the Endgame, which... that was weird. I mean, I liked it, but that was weird. I can't help but feel that maybe if there was one combined scenario, where you had to switch between the characters perhaps, something like Day of the Tentacle back in the day, maybe that would have made for a stronger game. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was my other main bugbear that I've got with this game. So yeah, I don't love it. I like it, but I don't love it. However, this game is so freaking unique. And I could be cheeky and say, yeah, it's easily the best video game that's based on a short novel from the 1960s that ever exists. And out of that category, this one is clearly the best. I mean, yeah, it's the only one. But you think about it. How many products like this actually exist? Where someone wrote a novel and then 3 decades later turned it into a video game. And it wasn't a case of them just selling the rights to some video game adventure company and going, yeah, just make a video game out of this. Go ahead and do your own thing. No. Harlan Ellison wrote the treatment and the script for this game. Harlan Ellison voiced Anne. Harlan Ellison was directly involved with this. And when I think of licensed video games, my mind immediately goes back to the 2000s or so. With your PS2 games, your licensed products from back then. And they were all rubbish. I mean, maybe there were 1 or 2 good ones in there, but they were mostly rubbish. This is unique. This had the blessing of the author. He was directly involved. I can't think of anything else like this which actually exists. And if there are other examples, I would love to know and I'd love to check them out because, yeah, just the fact that something like this exists, this deserves to be celebrated. It really does. And I could definitely see, due to the bugs and due to the structure of the game, how this game may not have got great reviews back then. I do know that it got some pretty good ones and people were saying, yeah, this is a unique game back in the day. But compared to some of its other contemporary games that came around that time period, which had less bugs, you know, your Sierra games, your LucasArts games, and so on and so forth, I can see how this game may not have stacked up against them. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I think this game has aged very well. You think about the bugs today and you're like, yeah, it's an old game, you expect bugs and that's totally fine. I think this game has aged very, very, very well. And I can honestly say that I had a blast playing through it and that I enjoyed myself. I don't love this game, but I definitely think it is worth playing. And also, just quietly, I am very glad that the game opened with that quote. That thing on the right-hand side there. I took that out of the PDF that came with the game, and I thought, is this a little bit too much on the nose? And then the game literally opens with that quote. Thank you, game. I appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to call it there because I've talked long enough, and this is going to be an absolute bastard to edit. So, that was my completely blind playthrough of I have no mouth, and I must scream. My name is Random Attribute. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll be back with something new very soon. See you then.